Hi guys, this is Dave Mach here to bring you another video. The title of this video is How Improving Your Listening Skills Can Help You Advance in Your Career. True listening is an artful skill. It is something that is essential if we are able to build our communication skills. Yet, many of us do not take the time to develop it to the fullest extent. What is more common is selective listening, rushing to judgment, where we cut each other off or interject our thoughts. This does not provide good listening. There are various ways we can characterize listening. Let's talk about the juxtaposition of internal versus external listening. You can listen to your heart, listen to your inner wisdom, or you can listen to the inner call to adventure, as touched on the second step of the hero's journey. You can also listen externally, let's say to music, carefully breaking down the instruments you hear. You can listen to the sounds of nature, or you can listen to your favorite friend tell a story, or you can listen to one of your coworkers or your boss. There is a virtue in listening. The most prominent and important virtue in listening is patience. Even in everything mentioned above, patience is key. It takes patience and stillness in the mind to understand the meaning behind words, understand tonality and speech patterns, speaking fast, speaking slow, and the space between pauses. It is also evident when listening to music, being able to distinguish between instruments. For the purposes of this article, to advance not only your career, but your life as a whole, we'll be talking about listening in three important forms. First is intuitive listening, second is egoless listening, and the third is the combination of the two. When you combine the first two forms of listening, it produces the most amazing results. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and the best coaches, therapists, and counselors understand this. Technique is to listen to promote, grow, strengthen, and provide progress. You don't want to make too many judgments because that will stop a particular person's mind wheels from turning. Hear them out, hear it all from their perspective, and respond when needed. Great listening is powerful and an empowering experience. Now we have intuitive listening. Intuitive listening includes listening for the meaning behind words, understanding tonality, speech patterns, making connections. In this way is part of the powerful form of listening. Another part is taking the raw information and applying it in a way to promote and grow the individual. It's the kind of listening you use when you really deeply care about someone and want to really understand what they're saying. You ask clarifying questions, understand the meaning behind words, and you polish ideas until they're shiny and bright. Eventually, they're just like diamonds. When using intuitive listening, it is typically good to follow up with your interpretation of what the person is saying to clarify whether your understanding is on point or not. Jumping around is fine, provided there is a common ground for communication. Be sure to adapt your communication style to different personality types to ensure clarity and comprehension. Now let's go deeper into egoless listening. It is an important skill, and mastering the art of listening requires you to understand egoless listening as well. Stephen Covey, in his book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, has a great lesson on this. He advises, first seek to understand, then to be understood. Instead of trying to understand what someone is saying from your own perspective, put away any of your own preconceived ideas, projections, or thoughts. Just listen to them patiently, looking at it from their perspective. This is what makes it egoless, and it is done so you can step into the other person's shoes. This is the kind of listening you can expect from working with a client-centered coach. When using egoless listening, you put someone else's concerns before your own. You seek to move as a unit and harmoniously. You want to cooperate and you want to co-create. To do this, you have to take the time to hear their ideas and share your ideas. Encourage buy-in with others. This, of course, takes a lot of time. And it is precisely because it takes a lot of time that it becomes more egoless. This can also be a good time for mind mapping, especially if you're discovering something new to you. For example, a career change. However long it takes, the person is usually grateful that you listen to them fully. To sum it up, the best listeners embody the Buddhist saying, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. When listening to the person, they become like water poured into a sophisticated container, where each person is the uniquely shaped container, flowing into them and assuming the other's personality or views to see things from their viewpoint, and afterwards returning back to yourself is a key part of this. Your form is empty and free-flowing and adapting to the circumstances. And this way you're able to walk in the other person's shoes and understand from their perspective. This is a skill not only available to empaths, although they have a great ability to do so. It can also be trained. To give some contrast to this idea, I've provided some words on the idea of egocentric listening and a real-world example. Most people on a daily level are concerned with what's in it for me. What am I getting out of this? While these may be good questions, they serve as a divider between you and the other person, and it makes the other person feel disingenuous, disconnected, and not unified with you. Egocentric listening can characterize a person that doesn't really care what you have to say, and then they're really only half listening. They only half listen to you and not really hearing you out, not taking as much time. Let's take, for example, this scenario. Here's John. He is a football coach close to retirement, and he has 2 sons. One seems to have an aptitude for football, and his name is Jake. He plays well, and it seems like he wants to pursue it in college. John continues to put him in places where he can perform well and puts him in contact with people who can get him on a college team. Jake tells him he's just okay with football, and he doesn't really like playing it that much, but he knows that you want me to do it a lot, and, he says, well, I'll do it anyway. What he really wants to do is become a talent scout. John half listens, downplays the importance of his passion, and he's unaware how to help him in that direction. He believes there's more money in playing for a major team than in doing something within talent scouting. So John's connections can get him on a good college team, and he'll be all set. So he says, okay, I'll do it. After graduation, there's a big push for John to join the major team. However, John isn't happy, but he says he'll do it anyway. He has his own ideas on another career, but he goes forward. He gets onto the team. He's playing, he's working, and over time, as fate would have it, he's not paying attention and gets injured. Unfortunately, now he is on the sidelines and he can't play at all. Jake has lost much time and energy in a field that really wasn't his passion. He feels he has persevered to his detriment and feels discouraged. John is also lost in the tragedy. Jake tells him in his heart he didn't really want to continue to play and he didn't want to disappoint his dad. So John wants to listen more intently now to what he really wants to do. Egocentric listening has led to this point. However, it's not too late. There's still time to make the change. Intuitive or egoist listening would have led perhaps to a heart-to-heart talk when Jake was looking at different possibilities. Perhaps could have led to some smart goal setting, and he could have, reached out for a career coach to do some aptitude testing, finding out what his strengths were, and help him manage the process to getting what he really wanted in his career. If you experience something like this, you want to see how you could listen better, or you like these ideas and want to see how they're applied in a coaching session, you can read up on my next articles and my next videos and see how they will be applied. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Coach Dave Mach. See you soon.